Welcome back to Daft Twang. I'm Dave. A lot of people have mentioned to me recently, I just want to be able to pick up my guitar and play something. You know, doesn't have to be that fancy, but something that has a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? Or I want to be able to pull out my guitar when somebody comes over and says, "Hey, play something," and just have like something prepared, right? Well, the blues is a good thing to used for that sort of thing. It's fun. Everybody relates to it. It's recognizable, even if it's not a specific song, right? And so this isn't just to please our audiences, but it's just something you want to be able to do, right? It gives you a real good sense of, mortaring in a certain stage of your playing and your musicianship, right? As well. Okay, it's not just I learned these licks, I'm learning these scales. I can play a little piece here. So what you just saw was one time around a 12 bar blues pattern in A. I'm going to take you through it one piece at a time here. There's a full tab for it in the description. It's actually a link to it to my Google Drive. It's a PDF file. You can print it out, use it for whatever you want. Make your own notes on it and things. That's what I recommend. Print that stuff out. Um, So we're going to jump right into this. Now, there's no backing track today, right? Another reason we can just kind of relax. We go at whatever speed you want, right? And that's what you want to do with something like this. And then I guess the only thing I would add before we get going is that, of course, you once you have this one time around, rehearsed and able to play it and remember it, then you can improvise. You can build off of that and just keep going around and adding your own stuff and using the same kind of groove, right? So maybe it would help to just look at the 12 bar rhythm pattern first. I didn't write this out, but it's A, D, and E, and they're all dominant types of chords. But just to get the feel of it, okay? And again, you can count it off however you want. Okay, so I used a kind of probably easy to recognize form of that A7 there, right? And I used some nine chords for the D and the E, right? You could also use seventh chord like that. Another kind of seventh chord. If you're not familiar with those, you can kind of slow this down and take a look at it, or you can just look up different forms of dominant chords for blues playing basic chords. So here's how the pickup line leading to the downbeat of that first measure in the 12 bar blues in A. That's the downbeat. Now, I'm playing, licks here where I have a note on that downbeat. I'm not going to be able to play the whole chord. So what I do is I go, it's after the beat, but it's got kind of a nice funky feel. Then, right, and this might take a little work for some of you, but I'll do it slowly. So I'm barring the G and B string on the seventh with that ring finger, then the same two strings with my index finger on the fifth fret, and then hammering one fret on that G string. Okay. All right. You can feel the groove, but not really playing like a full chord, right? Then I go. That one's pretty straightforward. And then kind of the second half of that lick from before. Now, sometimes I'm pinching down here, you notice. You can also just pick them. mess around with the pinching thing, see if you like that. Then I go, okay, now let's look at this one for a second. So I'm just going from one fret down on everything, like moving the whole chord, from one below up to the position where it's actually the chord that we want. And that's actually an A9. Okay. I'm not going to pick it apart too much, but you're going to say, that does not look like an A, right? Well, it if you look at it this way, if you take you got a flat 7 in there for the A. You got a fifth. I got to use different fingers though, because then you got a major third right there. See that? This is the 9 for A. That's the note A. If you're going up like a major scale or a whole step from that, that's the 9th, right? So you got a third, flat 7, 9, and fifth. That's a nice chord. Right? It's got a jazzy sound, but something nice to slip in there. So up to here we've got okay. Then I go, these are some harmonized licks. Okay. That last one, you can kind of just do the A. I like to just, I'd like to just complete that by making every one of those melody notes have a harmony note with it. I'm just kind of sliding in. The pinching really works good there for me. I don't know. You can try it. You can also just pick it. And that gives you a nice sound too. Then I do kind of that trick about just playing the bass note for that for the D this time. And it's nice because it gives you a second to like kind of catch up, Then you fill in the rest of that D9. Stop and use your ear if you need to, right? Even if you don't, it's on the tab. Then I go just that down and back thing again. Okay, then we're going back to the A in the 12-bar pattern. All right. Okay. Now you notice on the tab, sometimes I go, and sometimes the hammered note's always the same. It's always on the G string, right? But you can do it from or. See, they're both just two strings, and they're adjacent strings, but it's either these two or these two. And that's a nice little variation that's easy to achieve, and it sounds like you're doing more than you really are there, Then I go, right? That's pretty straightforward. That's right out of that minor pentatonic. Okay. I think I hit it twice. Do whatever you want there, right? But you can see on the tab there, just it walks it down from the E, to the D. So I go. Or. Okay. Then we've got this is probably the only kind of like real rock lick in here. It's the only one that uses a bend. And if you're playing acoustic, slide it like that. You're still getting that same sound. I kind of like the slide. On the tab, I put it in as a bend. And then, so I'm just walking that down. Play them together. You can split them up. And then this time we go from one fret above the target chord with a 9, dominant 9 shape for that E at the end. All right. I'm going to let you get right to it here. You know backing track and go at your own speed. Let me know how this goes, and I'll talk to you soon.